Hey everybody, it's Mark Schultz here, and we are coming in with another edition of Recovery in Aviation. You know it's my passion to talk about recovery in aviation, and today we're going to be talking about growth in aerospace, growth in manufacturing in the aerospace industry. I have some guests that are with us today, and we're going to be talking about, hey, what should you be doing in the industry to be successful? We're going to be talking about some products and solutions that are out there, and we're going to talk about strategies and a special discussion about an upcoming event to help you do network in the industry. Stand by, you are not going to want to miss this. Hey, Larry.
Hey, Mark. Good morning. Good to be with you again.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Did I catch you off guard?
You did. I just got a LinkedIn notification, and I was looking down to see what it was, and it was this broadcast.
It's us. It's us. Excellent. Very good. Hey, listen, for those of you who don't know Larry, he's often the co-host, and he's my business partner. And Larry, you have a background at Boeing. Can you tell people just really quick what you did at Boeing?
Yeah, I had 40 years at Boeing, and in the last 10 or 15 years really spent in the maintenance arena, helping airlines be more efficient maintaining airplanes.
Yeah, see, Larry and I joined together because Larry has an excellent background in manufacturing, and he has a background in digital, and so we connect up really good. And so many times we'll come together and do these broadcasts together because it adds for a good background, with the guests that we have. And since today we're going to be talking about manufacturers and how how suppliers and vendors can grow and connect with manufacturers, I wanted to have him on. Hey, before we get started here and bring our guests in with us, I wanted to remind you out there that, hey, I like to know where you are, and I like to know who's watching. And so if you're watching this live broadcast with us today, I was wondering if you could just take a moment and put a comment into the comment box. We like to acknowledge people and let them know that we know you're out there and we're listening. And we also like to take questions during the broadcast. And so you are going to have an opportunity to submit live questions, and we're going to do our best to try to answer them. And so, hey, put a comment in the box. Let us know where you are, and we are happy to take your questions today. Larry, I got some exciting guests that are with us today. I'm going to go ahead and bring them in and start our conversation today.
Let's do that.
Very good. We got 1, 2, 3. There we go. Excellent. All right, welcome. Well, listen, I'm going to go around the room real quick and introduce those of you there. And if I could, Akila, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Yep. Hi, Mark. Thank you for having me. I'm the co-founder and CEO at a startup here in Seattle. We offer smart manufacturing software for the manufacturing industry.
Excellent. Okay. Looks like we're getting some feedback. We might have to mute some of the mics while some of the people are talking. So we'll just go with that. But anyway, hey, listen, thank you very much. I appreciate that. One more time, because it was a little bit distorted during the discussion. What was the name of the company again?
It's Xemelgo, Xemelgo.
Got it. Excellent. And you provide software to manufacturers basically for what purpose? What does the software do?
The software helps you get the right data at the right time using sensors, so RFID and Bluetooth sensors, and doing machine learning on those sensors to get your data and inform you of your operations. Okay,
excellent. That'll be good to have your digital perspective on our conversation today. Awesome. All right. Okay. Hey, listen, let me go down to our next guest. And actually, you may recognize her, Marcy Simpson. She has been on our broadcast before. Marcy, great to have you on. Can you tell our viewers today who you are and what do you do?
Sure. Hi, Mark. Hi, Larry. Thanks for having me again.
Marcy.
I'm Marcy Simpson. I'm the president and COO of Nightcoat Laboratories here in California. And we manufacture coatings that are used by every OEM. And this past year, I've just been really focused on business development, and I've started a new company.
Oh, fantastic. We're definitely going to want to ask you about that. Okay. Very good.
Thanks.
If you can talk about it. Okay. And then next to you, we have Penny. Penny, who are you and what do you do?
Thanks, Mark. I'm Penny Burnham. I am the VP of Sales and Market Research at Nightcoat Laboratories, which you just heard Marcy talk about. We make chemical coatings for the aerospace industry.
Very good. Excellent. All right. So we have a mix of different things going on here today. And so we wanted to jump into a discussion today about manufacturing and a little bit about the aerospace industry and what people can be doing out there watching today to be able to really grow this year in 2021. So our focus is really recovery in aviation. but with a real focus on growth in aerospace. Okay, so let's just start this out. Let me ask you guys just an opening broad question, and just ask let me start with you, Marcy.
Sure.
Marcy, what are you seeing from some of the aerospace companies out there? What are you seeing as far as growth is concerned? Are you seeing areas that are growing more than others out there today?
Oh yeah, business jets. They are doing really well right now, and we see a lot of orders going to OEMs that are still producing the same amount of jets, if not more. I think everybody else might have that same experience. What do you think, Akila?
Yeah, and I think another area that we're seeing a lot is aircraft, right? Because the existing aircraft, there's a lot of work being done there. And I think just in my space, because we look at digital transformation quite a bit, we're just seeing a lot of aerospace companies sort of double down on digital transformation just to be ready for this next phase that's about to come. Like everybody knows, there's going to be a recovery here, and we just want to be ready to hit the ground running with the increasing number of orders that everybody is going to get.
Hey, Akila, just a quick follow-up question is that what business problems do you think you're seeing people trying to solve through digital transformation?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So for us, I think the thing is people are trying to get the most out of their employees, right? So with lean spaces, they just want to get rid of anything which is a manual overhead, right? So having to people go down and count inventory, or having to people look for things on the floor, or one area we're seeing is a lot of VMI, like 5% people over to another location, to make sure the customer is staffed. And I just digitize all of that, because then I can take my people and put them on high value problems, right? So I think it's an easy digital problem to solve, but the bang for buck is very, very high in those cases, right? So I think that's what we see most of our customers do is, where are my inefficiencies? How do I get rid of that? I know I have to operate extremely lean for the next couple of years to come, but then I probably need to be ready for, either the same amount that I was doing before, or more business, right? So let me just get rid of. I feel like people have taken lean as far as they could, and now they're saying, what is my lean plus plus? And that is where the transformation comes together, is how can I use technology?
Yeah, excellent. Hey, Larry, that's really your area of expertise is digital. Did you have any follow-up questions for her?
Well, I did, but I did have one comment. And I think it relates to what Akila was talking about. Is I saw a quote. A guy said, there's been more advances in technology and digital transformation in the last 10 months than there would typically be in the last 10 years. So wow. There's been a lot that's happened that's been good and bad over the past 10 months, but it's the technology of how we communicate and how we work has changed drastically.
Yep, totally agree.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I always like to keep an eye on people coming in and out of the room. And sometimes I like to just acknowledge people. I see we have Nathan Wosenak, who's joined us out there, and he said, hi, everybody. And, I like to just kind of throw people's names up there and let you know that if you're out there watching, we'd love it if you could just put a comment in the box and tell us, who you are and where you are, because we like to know who's watching and what kind of audience we have and where people are watching from. I typically have people coming in from all around the world, and it's really fun to see, where people are, where they're coming in from around the world. So give us a little shout out in the boxes there and let us know. Hey, listen, let's come back to that conversation about digital, and then just for those of you watching, then we're going to shift over and talk a little bit more about some of the hard manufacturing kind of parts of it. But back to the digital conversation for a minute is so digital. Yeah, Larry, I just can't agree with you more about the last 10 months is that we have seen such a massive explosion of people doing digital. Now, there's a lot of companies out there that look at this in two different ways, and I wanted the two of you to comment on this. All right, is that number one? People look at it and say, hey, yeah, we're going to go out there and we're going to do some optimization of what we're doing. All right. Now that's important. That's good, because I've seen companies actually optimize, 5% of their labor workforce up to 40% of their labor workforce. And that can make a really big difference. All right. But also we kind of need to look at this concept of how do we massively scale or change what we're doing, 10Xing things or really growing things, through digital transformation. So listen, I wanted to come to you, Akila, and just say, what's your perspective on the difference between optimization versus, making major shifts through digital transformation?
Right. Yeah. So that's a great question, Mark. And I think, basically people are looking at digital transformation two different ways. One is, how can I change my business model to enable, more sales? For example, I was talking about this VMI use case, which has been around in the aerospace industry forever. Your vendor comes in and you stop. But what we're seeing a lot of vendors now do is to offer almost like a connected digital supply chain, right? Where everybody in that supply chain has visibility into it digitally at any point of time. So it's almost like, with Amazon, your box is 7 steps away. Why can't we have the same in manufacturing, right? Where I, as a customer, can just log in and say, where is my particular box? When is it going to get restocked? What does my forecast look like? Can I reorder from right there? And that's the sort of business model that we're starting to see that digital is enabling. That's one of the examples. In addition to, like, what I was saying, there is tons of opportunities for optimization on the factory floor. But I think I'm with you. This whole change in business model is, I think, what's going to drive a lot of the industry, right? We are seeing another really cool business case is aftermarket parts, right? Can I digitally track the life cycle of aftermarket parts? So, when the part is ready to be replaced or it's out of warranty, there's actually a complete digital communication. And I think Larry was talking about tooling and maintenance and how, he worked at Boeing and ensured that was completely digitized. So there are opportunities, I think, in a lot of different, service spaces that people are offering to completely digitize and change your business model and bring in additional source of revenue, which companies have not even tapped into at this point of time.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. That idea of changing the business model, that really resonates with me because, people do need to rethink the business model. And a lot of times people don't really know what that means. And so I think what I'm going to do sometime, Larry, you and I, we're going to get back online one time and we're going to talk about how to change your thinking on business models and implementation of digital. Okay. This show here today wasn't all about digital. It was more about, manufacturing. And so we're going to come back to that. But Larry and I are so excited about that subject that, listen, Akila, we're going to have you back on and have this conversation between the three of us. All right. Yeah. Hey, before I move on, I want to acknowledge somebody out there, Simon Barker. He's a really, big follower. He watches all the time, but they have some great events out there and they're involved in technology a lot. But we're going to come back to that question about Industry 4.0. But just throw his website up there. I just want to give him a quick shout out. Simon Barker, he threw his website up there. And they do have a great product. They have a magazine that they do, and they have a lot of good information that they share with people in the industry. And so, you guys go to that website and take a look at it because Simon and their company are really helping out. And I think they're really helping drive recovery in aviation. Unfortunately, I think Simon, your event got delayed again. Your in-person event, but anyway, we're looking forward to people being able to reconnect in person. We have a few other people that have joined us out there. I see we got Matt Churches with a materials company. Hey, Matt, we're going to come back and talk about materials in a minute. Super glad to have you online from the UK talking about materials because we're actually going to come back to that. All right. And Simon, your question about Industry 4.0, we're going to come back to that too. All right. So I'm going to set those two questions aside, and then we're going to now shift our conversation over to talking about some manufacturing. Larry, last chance on digital. Anything else you want to add about Akila's comments? I know that you got like 1,000 things that you would like to say, but anything else you want to jump in there with?
One additional comment. I think we're at a unique confluence of need and technology that we just haven't seen in a long, long time. And as you build a business plan going forward, there's some great opportunities to take advantage of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Larry, thanks for sharing that. Larry and I, one of the things that we do, listen, people look at me and they go, oh, look, you're a social media company. You do broadcasts on LinkedIn. No, I'm not a social media company. I like to use social media to get our message out. Okay. Larry and I are really in aviation. We do digital transformation. We do consulting. I help a lot of people with sales and marketing kind of activities. And we actually use social media to get a message out. So today we're getting a message out about digital transformation and about aerospace and about manufacturing. And now I'm going to shift over. I've made the two of you sit so quietly, during this discussion about digital. And sorry about that. Now we're going to come back and talk about some things that are really super near and dear to your heart. Is that okay, Penny and Marcy?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
thanks, Mark. I actually really enjoy hearing Akila speak about her company. It's such an interesting product. And I wanted to just take the opportunity to say hello to Matt Churches. He's kind of our secret weapon over in Europe. He knows how to apply our coatings. And so he's always supporting Penny when she's trying to create panels for testing and such. So thanks for being here, Matt.
Fantastic. Well, maybe while he's sitting there, he can give us a personal testimony in the comment box, and then we can put it up on the screen. Because if he's one of your consumers, then we'll maybe get a comment from him about it. So thanks for pointing that out. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into the discussions now. Marcy, I want to learn a little bit more about what you guys actually do, and the reason I want to do is I want to relate that to what's happening in the industry. Okay, so either Marcy or Penny, I'm not sure who's most appropriate, but tell us again who NICOAT is and what the company does. Who the heck is NICOAT? All right.
Why don't you go for it, Penny? I've talked enough already.
Yeah, so we are a chemical coating company, and we specialize in cross-linking polymer nylon hybrid coatings that are lightweight and thin. The technology allows us to have a void-free barrier that's extremely strong, flexible, three-dimensional structure that has the ability to bond to a broad array of substrate types. So yeah, our manufacturing approach is to problem solve with OEMs, and that's afforded us a lot of opportunities with the major OEMs. We've worked with pretty much everyone from Boeing, Airbus, Collins, Raytheon, just a ton of different OEMs on really innovative, cool surfaces or on different substrate types.
Hey, Penny, just a quick question.
Yeah.
Why would I coat something?
Well, there's loads of reasons to coat something. Or
that might have been a little bit of a loaded question.
Our technology is a resin, so it can be a coating or it can be used as a impregnation of another type of a part. I have to be careful what I say because sometimes it's proprietary with the customer. But yeah, it's going to have a lot of different use cases, anything from corrosion to corrosion prevention, and that can be from other chemicals or from biological organisms. It can be something that you want to make sure is completely encapsulated. So say like bonding points or electronics, electronic housings, things like this, or, any areas that need that complete encapsulation of an extra layer, an impenetrable layer of coating over the top.
Okay, let me just dig into that for a minute, Larry. That's a great question because not everybody is at the same level of understanding. Look, we got some material engineers out there. We got people that are just watching because they love aviation, and we have people that do a lot of different things. Okay, and so I just want to make a quick statement. Is that okay? Listen, coatings. All right, I look at an airplane. I see aluminum that has anodized coatings. I see things that are plated. I see things that are flame sprayed. I see things that are painted. I see things that, that have, like you said, like a nylon coating on it. And so, when we talk about the term coating, coatings could mean a lot of things. And I thought it was interesting. Matt Churches down there, he said, someone said, well, why would you coat something? Well, he said it's to protect the substrate. All right. I thought that was a great comment. Is that, all right, okay, you're protecting some underlying material with a coating. All right. Whether it be painting my car to prevent it from rusting. And then, hey, listen, I had to put a surface preparation on it. I had to put a primer on it. I had to put a paint on it. I had to put a top coat on it. So there's a lot of different things that go into putting coatings on things in order to be able to protect it. So that all being said, I want to come back to you one more time, Penny, and say, what does a NICOAT coating do to something? How does it protect the substrate?
I was getting there, Mark. We're good.
Oh, good.
Well, like I said before, it's going to protect the substrate from a lot of different elements, or it's going to make sure that nothing gets underneath or proliferates on top of. So that could be water or chemicals like hydraulic fluids or jet fuels. It could be, we're in COVID now, so it could be nylon's antimicrobial, and now we've come up with a new application or a new product that is antiviral as well. So Nylon is inherently, it has a lot of abilities, and the nylon that we use ends up being clear, thin, but it's really strong and flexible. So you're able to create this barrier between any elements and the part itself or the substrate itself.
How is it applied?
You can apply it by brushing it, spraying it, dipping it. We even have some customers rolling it on to fabrics and to different types of substrates. And we're working a lot more now with interiors companies too. With
now it's used in aerospace, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it's used in other industries as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking at a 787 here. I have no idea. Is there any Nycote in a 787?
Yes, there is.
And tell me, for people listening, is it where would you apply a Nycote coating on a 787?
On the 787, it could be anywhere from avionics, interiors, to protect communication systems. It will be on metals, plastics, lavatories, kitchens. It's all over the plane.
Okay.
And not only on the Boeing, but on other platforms too, like Airbus and Embraer. And in fact, Marcy and her father worked with an engineer at Embraer and created a specialized formulation just for Embraer.
Marcy, you told me that you put it on automotive and on race cars and all kinds of stuff, right?
Well, right. In the past, we have had multiple industries purchasing onesies, twosies here and there. But, that's why I started my new company, Mark, because we are bringing similar technology to other industries by creating a new branch of Nycote, basically, and going after.
I'm going to take that hook, all right? Marcy, I'm going to take that hook. You've told me twice that I'm starting my new company.
No. We don't have to talk about it anymore. This is all about aviation.
Tell me what this new company is. I want to know. Tell me.
Oh, well, okay. So we decided, hey, you know what? We've always been focused on aviation, on aerospace. And we have a great history, reputation within that industry. But, it's always been in the back of our minds, what are we going to do to introduce Nycote to other industries like EV, trains, and anything really? And so during COVID, we just were able, during the lockdown, during this pandemic, we've been able to really hone in and focus, okay, what do we want to do? Well, we want to bring it to other people's attention. And so we've created this company where that's exactly what we're doing. We're providing the technology of the coatings that Nycote has, and then we are also doing additives with new technologies. But I can't talk about that part yet.
Okay, all right. Well, are you just selling it into industries? Are you licensing it to other companies, or what are you doing? I mean, what?
Well, we are still structuring those details. Probably at this point, we would just be selling it direct using our distribution network that we already have.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to have you on when those things get more formed, and you're going to have to tell us more about it. Hey, just for a second, I want to throw her screen back up there again. If we could just throw her contact information. I just want to do this right now. I was going to wait till later, but listen, if you're interested in talking to Marcy or Penny, okay, about Nycote coatings and what they do, and you want to reach out to them, there's her email address right there on the screen. You could also put it into there it is right there as well. You could reach out to them and get more information about, industries they play into, what are their products. And, Marcy or Penny, who's the right person to reach out to? I only have your email address up there right now, but who's the right person to reach out to?
It's either one of us. We're glad to take calls. We love the people about these products. We're very passionate about it. So reach out to us on LinkedIn or Facebook, or just pick up the phone and call us at the office. Or an email. That's fine.
So, all right, we've been talking about some of the products, though, but one of the things I want to do is
Hey, Mark, before we go too far from the coatings thing, I just wanted to just touch on one quick thing real quickly. Corrosion is probably the leading cost driver in maintaining an airplane. Over the life of an airplane, millions of dollars are spent on corrosion. What you guys are bringing in terms of coatings that don't corrode, it's just there's a real value statement there that I think is applicable across the industry. On the aerospace side, there's got to be, Marcy, there's got to be some applications in marine as well that
Yep, that's one of the industries. Yeah, that's one of the industry trends. But I appreciate you saying that, Larry. We've always said we're protecting your assets, and that's our little tagline. But it is really prolonging the life of parts, and you know how very precious and expensive parts that go into airplanes really are. So whenever a part is coated in our coatings, it's completely encapsulated. So and it's flexible at the same time. So we don't have any other coatings out there in the market like ours. So it's a really unique formula. So we're proud of it.
Mark, you know this. An airplane goes through a heavy check. It's about a month sort of cycle, and most of that time is spent dealing with corrosion.
It is. I'm really glad you stopped the conversation for a second, Larry, and brought that to that because, I have a maintenance background. So, I actually started out and got my airframe and power plant mechanics license, and I became an engineer, and, I'm a commercial instrument, multi-engine rated pilot stuff. But I've been working with MROs and engineering pretty much all my career. And Larry, you're absolutely right. We go to a maintenance organization, and the first thing we do is we open up the aircraft, and we clean and we inspect, all right? The very first thing. And then the next thing we do is rip all the parts off and send them back to the shop to repair the corrosion and the different problems, that we have, that you found on the aircraft. And so you're absolutely right. And so, Marcy, if you guys are attacking that problem, okay, you got to be making a difference. I mean, tell me again, is it, what kind of a difference are you making, with respect to aircraft corrosion? What kind of a difference are you making out there?
Well, I'm really glad you said that, Mark, because that's exactly what our mission is. It's just to make a difference in our end users and make a difference for the people who find the work that they're doing interesting. And so what we do is we reach out to engineers, and when they reach out to us, we always like to work with them because we want to bring this technology to anybody who's interested. It's just we're a small company, and so oftentimes we don't have a lot of boots on the ground, but it's important for us to understand the pain points and have engineers reach out to us and say, hey, this part is experiencing corrosion over and over again. What can you do to help us? And we always work right with them.
Yeah, and our coatings we are able to specialize in different types of additives and elements that will help strengthen and will help preserve the life of the part or expand the lifespan. So yeah, we are always interested in working, and we get a lot of calls from people like you, Mark, who are in the industry and are servicing, and either the product that they were using is no longer available or is just not working. And so we're able to provide solutions. They'll tell us what the part is made out of, and we're able to either create something or recommend a current product and let them know why and how it's going to help them. And every single application is so different, and every engineer you talk to is different, and their agenda is different. And so we are able to see how many different types of problems are out there, and there's just a huge array of solutions that NICOAT can provide.
Yeah, and corrosion is so expensive, like you said, Larry. So that just makes really a big difference. It really does. Hey, for those of you that are watching, we really try to get our message out, on these kind of, subjects about recovery in aviation and ideas and solutions. And like even today, this broadcast is going out on 7 different platforms right now. And then I repurpose it to other places. But I wanted to make a quick plug. Is that Marcy and I have been conspiring to do something else as well. And we're actually, going to get on the new social media app Clubhouse, all right? And we're going to begin conversations about materials and about specs and about aerospace manufacturing. And so, if you want to have more conversations in a really interesting, really growing platform, Clubhouse, reach out to me and let's connect, and you can become part of those conversations. I'm actually starting my first room on one of these subjects on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Pacific. And so if you guys want to join, anybody out there watching, if you're on Clubhouse, get in, and we're going to, I don't know, I haven't talked to Marcy about that time yet, but she and I, we are going to be doing this, and we're going to start this conversation with people to really try to help the industry. All right. Hey, before I move on, I wanted to put up a couple of other comments there. Would you put up that second from the bottom comment from Matt again right there? Okay. People have still been commenting on this, and Matt said, hey, NiCode is chrome-free, and it's a nylon coating. I can't read it, but it's behind my camera. Marcy, can you read that to us there?
Yeah, it says it's a nylon coating, which gives better strength to the all over, maybe he meant part. So that's what it does. When a part is coated, it's just
to the overall
stronger.
coating.
Yeah. So thanks, Matt. Thanks for mentioning. Penny and I forgot to say, it's always chrome free.
Yeah.
It always has been.
Okay, very good. All right, okay. Well, good. Well, so all right, I want to move to the next segment of our conversation. These things really are very interesting to me. Listen, I've been running across people all over the industry that have wanted to talk about materials. I had somebody reach out to me in the last broadcast and say, we want to talk about lightweight materials. And so I went out into the industry and I found a company that's providing a really cool product on lightweight materials. And I'm bringing them in on a broadcast in a couple of weeks. And so one of the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to listen to what you guys are saying out there and saying, this is what we need to talk about, and respond. And so, if you have a comment or if you have an idea about a conversation that we could have, let me know, and we'll try to bring experts online here so that we can have that conversation. All right. So let's shift to the next segment. Next segment is we want to talk a little bit about strategies, company strategies, and what you're doing in the companies, and how people can look at that and learn from that and try to adjust some of their own strategies out there. So let me start with Akila. How about you? Is it what's been happening in your company, and how's your strategy changing right now over the last year, and where are you going in 2021 to be successful, and how can other people learn from that? Okay. What are you doing in 2021, and how can people learn from that?
Yeah, I think the one big thing that we've definitely focused on is diversification, right? So, which I think everybody at this point of time needs to start looking at, just to say, at making sure your client base is diversified enough, because the market's going to go through ups and downs, that you actually have the opportunity to probably sell in another space, or you have products that you can sell in another space. And that's why I love what Marcy is doing with her new company. And I think in terms of scaling, I feel like, what Larry was saying, this is the perfect time for lean and digital to come together. So we've sort of doubled down on that message. We've doubled down on our products to make sure that we can enable lean through digital, right? And that's really what our message has been. That's really what our product is. So we can take that product out to other customers and help them get sort of going on this journey. And I think there was a question about Industry 4.0, and there's been so much hype about it for like so many years. I think our big thing has been to make it extremely easy, cost effective, and quick for people to get started on that journey. Nobody has time for science projects, for 3-year-long things. People don't want to invest budget in that. So how can we go on site, get people up and running quickly in a couple of hours, and then help them get on this Industry 4.0 journey ASAP? So I think, for other people, if you haven't thought digital, reach out to us, look at other companies out there. I think it's almost a necessity right now if you need to stay digital, or if you need to stay competitive in today's market, and then diversify. I would say those are the two big strategies.
Okay, so you said 2021. You said diversify, go digital. Look at new manufacturing methods, Industry 4.0. Anybody have any follow-up questions for Akita on those things? Anybody?
Good.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. All right. Okay. Penny, Marcy, what is happening in NiCode today in 2021 in order to be able to enable your success, and what can other people learn from that?
I'll just go ahead and tell you, I think we need to step back right now and really focus on our people. And that's strategy right now. We're still in a pandemic, and we're in it for the long haul. And I think it's important as leaders to make sure to reach each one of our team members, each one of our employees, and ask them how they're doing and how their family's doing, and continue to support them throughout this. That's number one for me. And make accommodations too for the employees as they require them. As far as business development, of course, we're a surface protective coating. So we really shifted during the pandemic to doing R&D and doing products that answer the questions that, or answer the issues that arose out of the pandemic. So we're investing in R&D this year, and we're going to continue reaching out to engineers, OEMs, and telling them what we're working on and telling them what we want to do to help them. Penny, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always been our motto, is to have as many irons in the fire as possible, meaning that the more focused collaboration, the better. In business development, in our innovation, and in our daily operations, that's sort of our message to ourselves and to our other employees, is to make sure that we're really working on bringing those ideas forward and acting on them. And so what I feel like has been really apparent during COVID is the shifts of the mindsets of people. It seems like COVID's made it easier to develop new business. Seems like BD people, engineers, executives are open and willing to engage during this time. We're not traveling as much. It's easier to follow up with people daily because you're not off in a different state or country every month or so. Yeah. So from my viewpoint, it seems like it's been easier and better working with people in this way. And then in the future, in 2021, I just have so many ideas that I want to bring out. And like you brought up before, the lightweighting is a huge portion for me, because I realize that as people move into new materials, we need to move with them. We need to understand how we play in that arena.
Okay, so I heard Marcy start off by saying, focus on your people and provide some accommodations. I heard you saying, connect with the customers, figure out what they need. You talked about new products. You even said you're launching a new company this year. Penny, I love what you're saying about I'm in the travel industry and I love travel, and we want to help the travel industry be successful. But I'm telling you what, I have certainly been a lot more productive because I've had the ability to get more done because I've spent less time on airplanes. Okay, so it's sort of a difficulty because I like to go places and meet people and be on airplanes, but I'm getting a lot more done when I don't have to spend 3 days on an airplane to go have a 1-hour meeting in Hong Kong. All right, I mean that makes a big difference. Okay, yeah. So
I think we have to find a way to integrate the two together in 2021, 2022 for sure.
Yeah. Okay, great. That really sounds good. Other thoughts from you guys?
I think we covered it all.
Okay, perfect. Right.
Listen, Marcy and Penny, I think that's a really good message. We're in an environment now that's defined by change, and change creates several things. Number one, it creates stress, like you were talking about, Marcy, and looking out for employees is so important. But Penny, change also creates opportunities, and you guys look to embrace those opportunities. Okay, and Penny, like you guys have talked about, is where we need to be looking forward is understanding that change is part of rapid change is part of our new normal, and it creates stress on so many different levels. But I really enjoyed your message.
Thanks, Larry.
Very good. Hey, listen, I'm going to transition from there into this next topic. And the next topic is that we're all looking for ways to be successful in our business this year. Okay. And we just talked about earlier with Simon about how, there's some conferences that have been canceled or they've been gone virtual. And, all of us that are involved in the industry have had to adapt and change our ways to reach out to people. Okay. And networking is important, connecting with people, connecting with buyers, and being able to engage with our customer and our audience has always been a challenge. And within the aviation aerospace industry, one of the primary ways that we do that is by going to industry events and networking with people, okay? And so, just like what has happened in all other places, one of the largest or one of the most important associations, aerospace associations in our region is the PNAA, the Pacific Northwest Aerospace Alliance. And the PNAA has an event coming up just in a couple of weeks called the Advance 2021. And at that event, they're giving people a great opportunity, like the people you're talking about here today, manufacturers, suppliers, vendors, to do three things. And I want to have a quick conversation about this. Number one, they're providing a really dynamic venue of which people can actually come to a virtual event and they can connect, all right? You can go to this event, and there's a couple of main things you can do. One, there's a technical track where you can learn about things like we've been learning all about really great stuff like coatings today and things like that. Number two, I've made some new connections today. Okay, Akila and I didn't know each other before today. And so there's a new connection, a new network. Hey, I'm really glad that we've been able to connect. We have this digital mindset. Larry said, hey, we got to talk. We find new people in the industry when we use virtual methods like this to be able to connect. All right. I said that Marcy and I are getting ready to go off and do some things on Clubhouse and connect with other people. We have to reimagine ways to network. The PNAA has come up with a great new platform where they have an event coming up. It's just in 2 weeks now. It's the week after next. And you're going to have an opportunity to be able to connect with other people, go on a technical track, and network. All right, but one of the other most important things that you have is that there's actually going to be buyers there, okay? And you are going to have an opportunity to be able to connect with buyers. I put an event up on LinkedIn here, and I pulled this down this morning. It's what the circle is on the left-hand side. And there's over 400 people that have said they're interested in attending this event just by my posting this and saying, hey, you need to know about this event. You need to go to it. That's the one on the left. And so I want to tell you is if you want to attend this event, go to this special link. We've created a special opportunity over here called pnaa.digitalaircraft.org. And if you go sign up through that site, you can get your name entered in a drawing to win 2 free airline tickets, round-trip airline tickets in the industry. And so go there. It's just a little extra boost, just to get people to go there and put their name and contact information in. But if you go to this event, you are going to be able to network with people. You're going to be able to learn technical things, and you're going to be able to be presented in front of buyers. Now, I want to go back to the 4 of you and say networking, learning in a very short period of time, and connecting with buyers. How important is that to a company like Nycoat?
You know what? We connect with our end users. We always see people who understand our products, not just the buyers. So we've felt that this event is really valuable, and we even have a booth. So come by and meet us and, enjoy the details that we have in our booth. It's a really cool event.
Tell us about your booth, Marcy. What does it mean you have a booth at a virtual event?
Actually, Penny knows more about it. I'll let her say.
Penny, tell us about the booth. Okay? Tell us about the booth.
It's actually our assistant, Gabby. She really did such a great job with our marketing company to put the booth together, because it's not something we're used to. It's something new, so it was a whole new thing I've never dealt with before. But, it looks great, and it has interactive capabilities, and I really love it. I've always, this is our 3rd year at PNAA, and so, I just love that it, as a whole holistic aerospace ecosystem up in the Pacific Northwest, and PNAA brings everyone together, so we get to see our customers and our contacts or people that we're working with really closely and get to talk to them, usually live. But this year it's virtual, and everyone just reaches out already and says, I'll see you at the event. It really is a great forum. I'm really happy to be a part of it.
And this only happens once a year for the PNAA. And so this is a really important event. And so if you are looking for an opportunity to meet new people in the industry, connect with suppliers, talk to them, you need to go to this event, the PNAA, and you can sign up at that link right there. But, I know from my own personal experiences is that in the past, I used to attend, at least 4 to 6, industry events a year. And it's at those events where I would learn, I would connect with people, and I would really engage my business. All right. I could spend all year long, calling people and going out, reaching out to people, but in a very short period of time, in just a couple of days, these events give you the opportunity to be able to accelerate things and create new relationships and maybe connections and business opportunities in a very short period of time. So this is something that's really important to us, and we've all had to adapt because we can't be there in person. But what I can tell you is that this new platform that PNAA has is different. It's better. Okay, it's more interactive. It gives you lots of opportunities to be able to connect with people, and so I'm really looking forward to it. It's on the February 8th through the 11th. Okay, and I really encourage those of you out there watching to engage and go sign up and be part of that. Anybody else have comments about the upcoming event? Hey, Larry, you've been to lots of conferences in your life. What has it done for you?
I'm just going to say it's really hard to replace the personal connections that you get going to a conference. But you know what? You said it. 3 days to get a day to get there, 2 days out of the office, a day to get back, $10,000 in airfare or whatever it is. There's some real advantages to working at virtual and just being much more efficient doing it virtually.
Larry, that's another great point. Is that not only is it time, which by the way, when I have to go somewhere to an event and it takes me a day or two to get there, and then 2 or 3 days on site, and then a day or two to get back, it'll take me a week to do that. And so number one, time, you can't buy time anywhere, other than doing things like this. But you just mentioned the cost of an event, okay? Is that, yeah, absolutely. Is that, normally you'd have to pay for airfare, and the cost of attending these events has been high in the past, all right? And so everybody's reducing the cost of these events. And so now you can go to an event like this for just a fraction, 10 to 20% of the cost of what it would have cost you to fly somewhere, go to a hotel, rent a car, take taxis, wine and dine everybody, feed yourself, and then, attend the event. All right. Yes.
Yeah. Mark, I would also say it's still important now to make those connections, even though we can't see each other face to face. You can't just stop making connections for 9 months or a year. This is where we're at.
You disappear. You're off the map.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you're off the map. But yes, I really enjoy sitting across the table with somebody, having a cup of coffee. All right. I like that, and so that'll never be replaced. But right now, I think we're doing a great job of finding opportunities to connect in environments like this.
Yeah. And I just want to add, I think of all the conferences that I've been to, just the quality of connections that I've made at PNAA has always been amazing. I think I met Marcy and Penny last year at PNAA when everybody was meeting people, or the year before. But then I would say just every event that I've been to, just the quality of connections has been amazing. So that's something I want to add on.
Good. All right. Okay. Let's put that URL up there one more time. I guess it's right across the bottom. I'm scrolling there right now. But if you want to sign up for this event, go to pnaa.digitalaircraft.org. It's right there, and sign up. And you'll also get your name put in a hat for winning some free airline tickets. But listen, that's not the point. The point is that this is invaluable to your business. Jump in and engage. They'll definitely be valuable to you. Hey, Akila, I'd really love to have you back sometime where we could talk more about digital transformation. Can we do that?
Yep, I would love to.
Okay, awesome. And then Marcy and Penny, I really appreciate you guys, and you're coming in and talking about your product. Your passion really comes out, and I'm looking forward to engaging with you on that other new platform, Clubhouse, as well.
I know, Mark. Thanks for introducing me to that. I downloaded the app just yesterday, and this morning over my first cup of coffee, I received a bunch of push notifications, and so now I have to go back and figure it out, or maybe you could give me some tips.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. All right, Penny, thank you for your knowledge and what you're doing in the industry. All of us working together is what makes a difference in moving this thing forward. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I loved being here, and I'm happy to come back talking to you.
So I'm going to say goodbye to the three of you right now, and I'm going to have a quick end-up chat with Larry, so thanks a lot. Larry, I really like talking to people that have innovative products in the industry. I mean, what do you think about the NICODE product?
Well, I think talking to all three of those leaders, how they've embraced change, and they've embraced change in their own technology area, but they've embraced change, across the spectrum from people to technology to digital transformation, and that's just so it's a great lesson.
Yeah, I really agree. And for those of you watching again, Larry and I are all about digital and digital transformation, but really it's a means to accomplish the business that we want to accomplish. Like, for example, we're passionate about helping companies like aerospace companies and aviation companies, airlines and MROs to take their business problems and use technology to be able to leverage greater success out of it. And so we're really passionate about the companies and the business, and we use digital to be able to help create success in those businesses. And so, Larry, that's a passion of ours, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you on different digital transformation projects.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Great discussion this afternoon.
Really good. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. We always have regular broadcasts, and I'm trying to make them more consistent, but a lot of times they come up when people's schedules will allow them, and so this one came up on a Thursday afternoon, and I want to thank you all for joining. We do have another broadcast next Wednesday at 9 a.m., but I also have a number of them planned out in between, so just watch for the LinkedIn alerts, and join in on our digital transformation and our efforts to drive toward recovery in aviation. And I want to thank you for joining today. And I say fair winds and following seas to you. Have a great day. Bye.